Welcome to the Dana Rader Golf School. My name's Drew. Just wanted to give you a couple of good tips today to help you with controlling your club face. Everyone knows that the ball starts where the club face points, so it's very important to control your club face the right way. A couple of things I'm going to talk about today is what the left wrist does and how you can use your left wrist to square the club face the right way coming through impact. So first and foremost, you got to make sure you have a pretty good grip. I have a great video on grip. I want you to check that out and make sure that your grip's on there the correct way, because without a good grip, you're not going to be able to square the club face appropriately. So just a good review on that. You want to make sure that you've got it in the base of your fingers, underneath the palm pad, as you can see here, and making sure that you can see maybe a V between the forefinger and thumb going towards the right shoulder, and approximately about 2 knuckles over here as well. So here I am, it's set up. Certainly I'm going to have quite a bend in that left wrist a little bit, and then a little bit of a bend in the right hand. So the right hand comes on here as well, making sure that that V is going somewhere towards the right shoulder. And then after we get that grip going, we're going to practice getting our club face square at impact. So how do you get your club face square on impact, and what can you do to control it? So as I'm coming through, the lead wrist is responsible for what this club face is going to do. So just to show you a couple things, I've got this stick here basically showing you what the club's going to do, okay, in relation to what my watch face is going to do. I've got my left hand quite flat, almost as if I can hold a book against it. So as I'm coming through here at impact, my left wrist is going to be connected to the club face. Whatever it does, that is what the club face is going to do. So if I have that left wrist coming in here and it's pointing to the right, so is the club face. If I have my left wrist and it's rolled too much, I'm going to hook it. It's going to start to the left. So wherever you have that lead wrist, that's pretty much what that club face is going to do. So basically, an understanding, you can always wear a watch. You can also put a business card in your glove, or even use the back side of your glove. It could be a FootJoy, if you have a FootJoy glove, or a Titleist on the back of your glove. That's going to be pointing towards your target. Okay, so when you're controlling the club face, use your lead hand. That's your control hand, and you want to make sure it's squaring up. What are some things you can do to practice that? The first thing I would do is get an impact bag. And you're going to take your 6-iron, 7-iron, whatever it's going to be, and you're going to set up to that impact bag and practice coming in square, using a watch, using the back of your left hand, and monitoring where that goes. So as I get up to this bag, you all should be able to see the leading edge here. That leading edge should be perpendicular to the target when you strike the golf ball, especially if you want to hit it straight. Okay? We're not going to talk about draws or fades today, just a straight golf shot. What you want to do, you want to have that leading edge perpendicular at impact to hit a straight golf ball. So here I am at setup. Okay? My lead wrist is quite bent. I've got my good grip going on, but as I come into the bag, that handle should be ahead. My wrist should be flat. Okay, that leading edge is square to the target, and that watch face is pointing to the target as well. Okay, that's very important if you're going to hit it straight. I want you to practice the other way as well, so you can feel what does an open club face feel like. Come back in here again. Okay, that watch face is pointing to the right. That club face is pointing to the right. Let's do it closed. Okay, if you have a problem starting your ball too far to the right, okay, you need to make sure that club face is more closed, so this would be a good drill to overdo the correction. Vice versa, if you have a club face that is too close and the ball starts too far to the left, you might need to practice into the impact bag with more of an open face, more of the watch face starting it more towards the right. Okay, so this should help you overdo the correction so that you can stop your bad ball flight, whatever it may be. So if you're a slicer, make sure you get in the back of the lead hand, okay, to start to the left. Specifically the guy that starts the ball out to the right, that type of slicer. I'm not talking about the guy that starts at left and still slices it. That's usually because of the path coming too far out to in, and the swing plane, of course, coming too far out to in. We're not going to talk about that today. Just the club face slice where you've got the club face wide open. We're working on squaring that up a little bit more with some rotation there. So work on getting that lead wrist square. Work on getting that club face square. That's one way to do it there with an impact bag. Another way to do it is with a little drill. It's a modification if you've ever heard of the toe up drill. It's really, really simple. You're going to take the club halfway back and monitor the club face. Okay, should be somewhere between maybe 11 o'clock on a clock and about 12 o'clock on the clock.
Many might consider this a little open, this a little closed. Somewhere in between there is going to be square. And as you come into the golf ball from the inside, making sure that leading edge is square to the target or perpendicular to the target line. That watch face is to the target. And then as I follow through over here, I want that club at 12 o'clock, straight up and down on the follow through there, making sure that I close the club face and rotate it coming through. So you're just going to hit a couple balls, working on squaring the club face back and through, making sure that ball is starting where you're aiming. And then you're going to be able to control your club face a little bit more. If you're hitting the ball too far to the right, guess what you're going to do? You're going to practice this drill and overdo rotating that club face. You're going to try to get it close. So do a couple of drills. Instead of having it this way, go ahead and close it. Okay? Come into impact, close. And then come over here and close it. Okay? If you're starting the ball out to the right, you got to work on closing that club face and exaggerating a little bit to make sure you cancel out that bad ball flight. So this would be the look of somebody I'm trying to stop their slice. Get it closed, closed, and closed. Ball's going to start out to the left. Okay? If you are somebody that hooks the ball, it would be the opposite. Okay? Or somebody that starts the ball too far out to the left, you're going to make sure that your club face is not closed in the backswing. So you may get that club face a little bit more open at impact, and then a little bit more open as you follow through to make sure you're not closing the club face too much. As you can see, that ball started much more to the right. Okay? Especially for somebody that's drawing the golf ball. That's a really good drill for them to do to prevent it from overdrawing. You want to make sure that club face doesn't get closed on you. So that's a great drill to do. So the toe up drill, modify it, overdo it a little bit. The impact bag, modify it, overdo it a little bit. If you're having trouble, it's probably because of your path and your swing plane as well. But today was just a little bit of a drill to work on how you control that club face with your lead wrist as you come through. And make sure as you're controlling it, it's only with the rotation of the forearm and the rotation of the wrist. Don't try to open or close it with any kind of wrist motion this way. It's only with supination, which is rotation this way. And of course on the backswing there might be a little bit of pronation, not too much. Mainly supination as you come through the golf swing. We call that the release. It's not really a wrist motion, it's mainly a forearm motion to square out the club face. So make sure you do those drills, that'll help you out a little bit. Get the club face nice and square, and then next week we'll go over a couple of the things you can do for the path of your golf club to get it squared up. So I'm going to take a swing for you. I'm going to try to get that club face nice and square so that I hit a straight ball right down the line. Okay, that's this week's tips. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week.